Hello YouTube, Reddit Math here, and welcome back to the Red Estate. We're going to be jumping into some more leveling of our level 4 guys here, seeing who we can get all the way up to champion level. Quite a few bandanas as quest rewards as well, although this tough ring is looking like the most tempting prize for us at the moment. I'm thinking Rock, Bradwardine, Vare, and Quincy should be able to make short work of something like this. These guys will be pretty devastating in the front, and with these two in the back, I think healing should be no problem whatsoever. We're going into the Warren, so a long mission. I'd like a lot of food for this. Got plenty of healers, so I'm not expecting too much of the mission to require food to top me off. What I am expecting is an awful lot of bleeding and blighting. Maybe something about like that. And then we'll go ahead and go with 2 full stacks. Considering this is a long mission, you never know what you're going to need. So that looks pretty decent to me. I think we should be okay with it. I'm not entirely calibrated for long missions at all times, I'll be completely honest there. But I think this one should turn out alright. We've got quite a few of our more powerful classes with us. Bradwardine does a fine job of tanking and stunning.
To prosecute our war against the swine, we must first scout their squalid homes.
And we have actually recently equipped Heaven's Hairpin to Rock, which is going to give her some additional protection. Reduces accuracy and crit chance, which is exactly why she has that. So basically reduced her dodge and damage with the focus ring. Everything else is offset. Alright then. 90% of room explored. What do we want to do here? If I go down and over, I can loop around and then do like a thing like this. I'll have to backtrack back up with that. That shouldn't be a big deal. I think I'm going to do that. We'll do a little spinny circle around thing right over there, and then we should be able to get the rest of the job done without too much trouble. Alright. Fairly quiet opening hallway. It's a box rock. It contains stuff. Yeah, I mean, an empty box is probably better than a trap. Not going to argue that with you. Okay. That is a very opportune location to have grabbed a scout. We can already see the blockages, but we've brought enough shovels, and the way the warrens are laid out, we can almost always avoid something if we run into a wall after we've used our last shovel. Oh, awesome. And surprising these guys makes me feel way better. Oh man, that was beautiful. So very beautiful. Any of these guys gonna act before him? I would doubt it, right? Let's just try something like this. Oh man. So easily destroying these guys. You know what? I'm gonna try to bleed here. Oh, does that even bleed, or am I completely confusing it? Yeah. Just does the plus damage against Eldritch. Sorry, I've confused you with the Plague Doctor. It's okay. Mostly because we could then break through to do something like that to the rest of those guys. Stun him out. And had I recalled that his knife was not going to do what I needed it to do, I probably would have just used the artillery strike to the back ranks here. Oh man. And swing and a miss. Nah. 6 is not great. But we can immediately follow it up. 13 is looking a lot better. Also cleared a corpse out for us. Ow. Way to take a giant steel ball to the face. And then immediately get pulled. Okay. Not the worst thing in the world. I actually don't think that really causes any problems for us. She'll be stunned anyway, which means if we can do that to him, we'll be fine. Do 7 here. Why not?
As the fiend falls,
we are picking up a ton of critical strikes so far, and I am not going to complain even a little bit about that one. Alright.
A trifling victory, but a victory nonetheless.
Hey now, who you calling trifling? Got a lot of portraits. 1 round, 2 round. Have her check out the heirloom chest with a key. Hidden compartment. Crests. I mean, crests are something. They're probably better than jade. And then we'll get a move on. Alright then. We do have a blockage coming up.
Such blockages are unsurprising.
No big deal.
These tunnels predate even the earliest settlers.
Yep. Old tunnels. Got it. And that fills out the rest of those portraits. This should be... yeah, perfect for an ambush. This should be an empty room. Yep. And I think we've already scouted this hallway as empty as well. Okay. A little bit of hunger proc. A little bit of stress. Since this is a long dungeon, I am going to kind of let our light levels wear a tad bit thin. We don't really have a character perfectly suited to trap disarming either. Okay, so there are a couple of holes in our strategy. Now, this is straight food, right? Right, the screaming pig sounds were starting to get to me a little bit. I believe this is just food. Oh no. Well, fine. We just won't worry about that. Thanks, Quincy. Way to go poking around in places you didn't belong. Alright, how about... we did not bring any holy water. Oh, silly me. Okay. That made her bloodthirsty. Awesome. You have got so many quirks that are not good for us. Ugh. And a trap there. Okay. Torch. Head into the room. Now we are out of our initial scouting zone here. So things are going to be a little bit less predictable. And thus our light levels are going to stay a little bit higher. Down by 5. Down by 4. Still go with the judgment. I think that combined with like one other attack should be enough to kill her. And was that really the smartest thing to have done? Maybe not, especially if we miss. Okay then, that's fine. That's totally fine. I don't need you to hit the enemies. No, that's not why I brought you along. Alright, that'll sort her right out.
The beast, the greater the glory.
And we're back down to just 2 Wolverine wannabes. With 6, I think that now becomes worthwhile. That could have been a lot worse.
Well struck.
Oh, that couldn't have been much better, though. Very nice. Yeah, Bear has a distinct problem with uneducated savages. Oh, why don't you pick up a book once in a while? Stop trying to be a guy from the Canadian wilderness. There you go. And
remind yourself that overconfidence
I know
is
that
a
trinket.
slow and insidious killer.
Okay. You know,
The match is struck.
that torch is
A
like
blazing
totally wasted
star
on
is
us.
born.
I'm probably going to toss that torch. And it's rare, which I think is 1250. I'm probably going to take it over the key. That's my plan, at least. Hopefully, it was the right one. Alright then, moving along. The rest of the hallway remains fairly quiet. Okay. No more scouts. I think the one we got might be the only one we get. Oh, must know what's within the box. Last time it was nothing. This time it's a few crests. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna do away with those. And I think I might want to pick up a very early campfire here. Oh, especially lovely. Especially if you know what? Why not? Let's go ahead and guard protect her. Oh man, this is feeling kind of dicey, truth be told. I can certainly see this fight going a little bit poorly. You know, that damage debuff actually might be, like, pretty cool on her. For him specifically. Let's go ahead and move back one. Okay, that totally worked out. And then bleeding works a lot better against you than it does against this thing, the large corpse eater. And everyone apparently decided to target our Vestal, so I'm kind of glad I did that. And I guess with man, if you take the occultist off of a healing roll, I kind of have trouble with exactly what he should be used for. Yes, I'm gonna go ahead and buff up here. Oh, this combat's gonna last long enough, I think, to make it worth it. Okay, and he's able to get up to here. Yay. Now then. Get her healed a bit. Okay. Eat a rather large pig spear. Ugh. Man. Yeah, I mean, even with the plus damage trinket, like, he's not amazing at doing damage. And some of his other debuffs are just like meh. I'm probably gonna focus down Mr. Hulking Swinitar here. I mean, what do you really need a dodge debuff for most of the time? Like, I feel like that's largely just irrelevant. I mean, sure, these characters have a little bit of dodge, but it's not possible to, you know, lower dodge so much that you become 100% accurate. And with that being the case, it's kind of, what's the point? Abyssal Artillery is decent as a backline damage dealer. It's not great in instances where there is only a single target, like a large character back here. I mean, I guess he's doing, like, he's basically fighting him alone, considering our other characters are otherwise engaged with the Swinitar. Well, he's gearing up for another charge. Okay. And we resisted the weaken. Alright. Well then, I guess we'll just bust out Sealing Spaghetti against him. Do another party heal. I mean, perhaps in another party, his role becomes the marker, you know, the character which marks.
A victory.
Nice. I just needed one more damage to make that bleed kill him before he could act. That is quite a terrible debuff, actually. Thankfully, her buff basically just like offsets it. It's exactly the right combination of things. Oh yay, it's 0 heal. At least you didn't bleed him. Always looking on the bright side. And that inflicted bleeds, so you are out of this fight. Crit for 7, lovely. Everybody is pretty much there. There being full health, by the way, in case that wasn't clear. Alright, we can't take most of these things. Alright, well, we're not going to take them then. We are going to go ahead and camp.
A spark without kindling is a goal without hope.
We really don't need food, or like healing or stress reduction right now. So I'm going to avoid both, and instead we'll go with the All Companions dodge and the self-only buff all the things, basically. She get up her crit. I'm thinking she was the only character with really any stress build-up. And then she can sharpen spear. And with 3 left, you can do an accuracy and dodge buff. Or damage. Let's see. With 3 time units left, everything wants 2, right? Yeah. Now Unspeakable Commune. But we have no need for healing. So, what are our options? Accuracy and dodge, or damage at the cost of self-inflicted stress. I think the stress to me is going to be the tipping point, and we'll instead go with a buff to our Hellion. That way we can get her some permanent accuracy buffs, as Bradwardine already had one. And with that, we'll go ahead and bed down. We are the Flame. This one time at band camp.
In Radiance, okay. May we find victory.
Oh, I find it amazing that the Vestal tells the story of this one time in the Weald. Let me put you back here. It doesn't really matter which one of them is up front, all things considered. It is largely irrelevant in this setup. Alright. Food, shovels, fair. Alright, and we're going to move on. Now, we've got a fight coming up right away. However, we do have our newly buffed party to handle it. I am fairly certain these guys are going to be able to make short work of any sort of hallway battle. These guys will be a good test. Alright, let's see here. We don't need to do any healing. We'll just start off with a judgment. Perhaps against you. Awesome. You are about to be gone, foul thing. Alright. I was hoping that could do a little bit more. Probably should have checked. I don't think... it probably could not have actually done 6 damage. Oh. And that guy didn't care at all. But he did. Alright. I'd say that was worth it. Why don't we go ahead and just pick him off. Then we can stun the Reaver. A little bit of damage. That is a cool looking knife, though.
A singular strike.
It's probably a cooler looking lightning bolt, truth be told. Ooh. Alright. Fine. We didn't get to stun you. Down to 11. I'd say that with the bleed it inflicts is going to make sure you don't do anything else to us, though. I swear, man, your heal only works when it is targeted at you. Any other time, you just don't care. Alright, that leaves only Rock as the
These nightmares
only character
creatures
not
can be
at max
felled.
health.
They can be beaten.
She can solve that with like a little light snack in the morning, you know, just to pick her up again. Okay. We do know we've got a wall coming up. We still got 2 shovels though, so that should be fine. Let's go ahead and loot a pack.
Glittering gold, trinkets and baubles, paid for in blood.
Unfortunately, we can't take a lot of this stuff. What would we want here? Gold over portraits, holy water over medicinal herbs. I'd say that's a toss-up. We're doing pretty well on food, so like it probably just doesn't matter either way. I have been considering my approach to curio interaction items. I like having them, but you know, in some of these dungeons, I could probably have gotten away with just using the ones that we find inside the dungeon. I wonder if it might not be the most optimized approach to like just ignore anything you can't positively interact with until you get the item, and maybe you could circle back later on, or just hope to encounter another one. Oh, thank God. That surprise is actually very nice for us, especially when Quincy decides she's going to obliterate a corpse eater in a single blow. She burned him in the holy flame. He resisted the stun. That's fine. Especially with that. You have no chance. 0 chance of surviving out of this. Oh my. Oh no. He dodged it. Fine. Do we stun? Do we need to? It doesn't matter. Alright, that's going to take care of him. And could have hoped for nothing. Actually, she has 0 stress. She also has no ability to buff.
So too will resistance.
Those can take stacks of 5? Have I always just assumed it was a stack of 4? That may seem like a real silly question, but I've never paid that much attention to how high you can stack up these items before. I've usually just brought like 4 of them as the max I would need. I think that's the limit for shovels, and I just assumed it was the de facto limit for no real reason, just because. I don't think I've ever had a stack greater than 4 before. Oh, thank you. The last thing I really needed was a party shuffle there. Okay, pretty decent damage, but yeah. You know what? I'm gonna try for the stun here. It's really the best thing we could be doing to this guy. Okay. And he's gonna retreat. Should probably look. Some of the other kind of interesting things to run across, like the cultist brawler, for example. His attacks are very, very weak when he's leaping forward. The one he does from the back line that moves him up isn't that great. It's the one that he does from the front line that is the like more devastating blow. Which kind of means you should probably be prioritizing the guy that's in the front if you're, you know, facing off against that sort of typical like 2 brawler, 2, you know, cultist enchantress style lineup. I might want to look at the Swinitar. I didn't pay particular attention to him and his abilities. From what I've always garnered, it's that he trot retreats back to the back rank, and then from the back rank is where he does his Pig Spear, or is it Boar Rush that is really damaging? Now I've gotten them confused. Because he also has, from the front line, like a not very strong attack. Well, I mean, he's got that. Crunching Backhand. It allows him to retreat and is a single target. Really, the attack we're looking out for is his I'm going to hit every single member of your party type thing. Okay, he is out of this fight. Awesome. With that, we'll go ahead and deal with the Enchantress. Oh, man. Also, our attempts to stun from Bradwardine were basically entirely wasted. Awesome. Considering he never successfully achieved that. Thanks, Bradwardine.
This
You
expedition
tried.
at least promises success.
Welp, we need gems. We totally do. I like gems. How about you? We're just gonna throw a buff on from there. Sapphire is amazing. Wow, that's our last torch. I just noticed that.
The light, the promise of safety.
Well then, you know what? Quincy. Makeshift dining table. The meat wasn't fully cooked. I'm sorry. You'll be alright, though. So we're out of torches. We do still have... oh, we're out of torches. Here's a torch. We're out of torches, but we do still have the ability to light a campfire. You know, if I hadn't been forced to do that, I probably would have left it here. I'm still going to leave it here. We'll try for maybe a little bit better quality of loot.
Ancient traps lie in wait, unsprung and thirsting for blood.
We have so much food. Especially with us not needing that first campfire for really anything other than throwing some buffs on our characters. The amount of food we have is totally overkill. It would be different had we scarfed down 12 back when we camped, but that would have just been completely pointless. Nobody was that injured. Nobody had that much stress. It would have just kind of been a waste. Now, actually I have a real silly thought flowing through my head. I've been told this by two different people now, and I looked at like one of the game wiki style pages. There's not really an official wiki anywhere, but one of the self-purported official gaming wiki type websites. And this sacrificial stone has no things that interact with it, according to that page. However, I've had two different commenters leave a statement that a campfire log provided a positive effect. That's a pretty big risk, right? Like, to burn an entire campfire log on a sacrificial stone. But if we've ever been in a position to do it, I think it would be now. I'll kill him. So, I'm kind of thinking about doing that. It would, at the very least, put to rest that theory in my mind. The much safer way to test that is I could go look at the game files for that curio and it could tell me. But you know, where is the fun in that? Anti-venom. So, let's do this. Sacrificial stone. No effect. Alright. We will always know for the future. In that case, so it is just purely there's a slight chance that it does good things. Like provide insight into the Warrens. I think it has like Warren Scrounger and like Warren's Adventure or something like that are two positive quirks that it can give. Everybody had max. And then everything else on it is just bad. And particularly just bad because one of the negative things it can do is like a plus 50 to plus 50 to stress levels, and 50 is not a small number. Cult scrawling changed forever. Paranormania, obsessed with the paranormal. Okay. You know, 50 stress is like a single-handedly turn the tide of your sanity while down in a dungeon level of stress. Nice. We got a surprise off these guys. So that's kind of the reason I've always avoided them in the future. But like I said, I've had a couple of people say, no, you're supposed to use this on him. You know, that, you know, perhaps they watch other Let's Players that have played and have done such a thing. But perhaps they had just heard rumors spread by the swine folk to confuse and lead us astray. Either way, like I said, we'll know for next time. With that, single blow does half his health. That's pretty much awesome. This guy is not going to be long for this world. Stun resist is only 70. He did resist that, though. It did not matter. Awesome.
Wealth beyond measure. Awarded to the brave and the foolhardy alike.
Okay, I will probably say that I can leave behind that. And, again, heirloom chest can be bashed open with shovel. Get a little bit more onyx. And a bust. We didn't even need the additional space. Awesome. Okay. We'll get a move on again. Now, if anything, the only downside to us using our campfire, really and truly, is that I have to listen to the horrifying sounds of the Warrens on low light, which are just... Man,
secrets and wonders can be found in the most tenebrous corners of this place.
They're creepy. They're real creepy, okay? So it might drive me a little bit mad, not just our party this time. Okay. Paired with a slavering ghoul, you don't say. Does this get a bonus? It does not. Go for the one without any protection. If it crits, it's a fairly potent attack. The same could probably be said of the occultist abyssal artillery. Let's just go ahead and focus this guy. Like a couple of attacks from our frontline characters should be able to dispatch him. We'll soak up the stress of a Howl. There's no torch to snuff, so it doesn't really matter. Down to 10. Okay. I think we move on. We'll let one of our less martial characters deal with this guy. Okay. You're going to throw out a crit for 19. Fair enough. Yep, that's exactly what I say when I kill a giant corpse eater with a dagger. Every time. Just like clockwork. Alright. What damage to you? You've got pretty poor stun resist. Yep, you do. Probably worth it to heal up. And then I don't think you're gonna get an opportunity to attack us again, Mr. Ghoul. I'm sorry. I know you were looking forward to it, but it just ain't happening. 7's not bad. Then, I think we just toss around various buffs on anybody else that gets to act. Well, never mind. Nobody else got to
Finding the
act.
stuff is only the first test. Now it must be carried home.
Alright, let's see if we can burn through this food as quickly as possible. And then, portraits. Portraits. I haven't needed any of these bandages. In fact, I've picked up 2 more since I got here. And I've been blighted once. Granted, there are lots of characters down here that do that. I've fought them. They've just managed to not actually inflict blight or bleed on me. Now, inevitably, I will walk into this fight and immediately get hit by the overgrown spitter. Okay, that's not going to happen now, obviously. But it would have been some very sweet justice had I immediately walked into a fight and an overgrown spitter blighted me. That did not happen, thankfully. We just got stunned. Hey, we resisted it by a little grave nibble. Goodbye, my friend.
If only treasure could staunch the flow of otherworldly corruption.
Let's say that's worthwhile. Now, of course, the elephant in the room right now is that we are walking around in pitch black. We could always encounter a shambler. That would probably be real bad. Our stress levels are
Really
also
about to break.
the fits. You don't say. Ugh. It actually gives us speed buff. That's really interesting. Our stress levels are looking a little bit scary, truth be told. We're up to 60 here, 62 there. Yeah. That's not great. I think I'm just going to do the straight retribution. Let's not... Come on. Just don't even care. Look at his little... He's got a crosshair and everything on him. Thank you, Mr. Reaver, for actually caring about my strategy. I do appreciate it. So yeah, stress levels definitely a little bit high. I think it'll be fine. This is probably the last fight of the dungeon in order to complete it anyway. We might just push on a little bit and see what there is to find as far as the loots are concerned. Ugh. Yep. So that. And one of these. Down to 3. That'll kill him. Too bad. Okay. A little bit of healing would have been kind of nice there. Not the worst thing in the world, though. We do have all of our food that we can still eat. And, yeah, that was the end of it. We're going to go ahead and continue, though, and check out this heirloom chest. We'll leave behind the one portrait. Remember, deeds are completely worthless to us, as we have no more upgrades that require them. Crate is empty. Okay. Stack of books. Rock, what have we told you about trying to read?
The walls close in. The shadows whisper of conspiracy.
It's gonna be one of those days, isn't it? I will push you. I do aim to get you killed. I mean, we're gonna cost Vare a little bit here. Truth be told, everybody is going to have to de-stress after this dungeon anyway, except for Vare. And so, with that in mind, we're going to push forward a little bit. This is probably a terrible decision, but I just don't care. So, let's see, that does 7 to 13, that does 6 to 10. So this is just better and can also hit that 3rd rank. Okay. Good to know. Good to know. Finally saw a bleed. Yep, yep. I don't like this. You're gonna be okay, man. You've got a shield and armor. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Why are you running away? Okay. Well, thankfully, you can still do that from back there. And you can still do that from back there, too. Actually, I do have a rare opportunity to observe paranoia in the wild, which I should probably look at. This could kill him. It did not, but it could have. The heal there. Okay. Okay. Can't staunch the flow. I'm sorry, my friend. You'll be alright, though. Totally be alright, though. He's gonna bleed out before he can do anything more to us. Deception is afoot. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, that's sorted that out. She can use her own abilities that debuff herself. That is not something I would have expected. We'll just see if we can't spread a little bit of love and joy and healing throughout our party before the combat ends. One thing I did want to check though, so, and I dislike the way that they did this. So she's paranoid now. I wish, like, tooltip, hover over paranoid, see what paranoid does. That would make the most sense to me. It used to be like that before the UI redesign. Now you have to look at the things themselves. So it's reducing her max HP by 10, her max damage by 25, and then all of these things by 15. Okay, that's fair. Not the worst. We'll throw out that for the protection buff, and he will then bleed out.
Packs laden with loot are often low on supplies.
Food. There we go. We're at a full gold stack. Oh, that's awful. Well then, we'll get rid of the food entirely. Oh, anybody hungry? Anybody? No, that takes care of it. All right, we'll leave the crests and push forward. I would really like to get through this upcoming hallway. Uh-oh, the stone seemed out of place. Also, we should probably move you guys back. Okay. This upcoming hallway, we've got 2 curios there. I want to get to them just for the opportunity that they're some simple, easy to interact with loots. I'm not concerned about a dinner cart, but perhaps a sack. How would you be paranoid and yet still wanting to check out the sack's contents? That doesn't jive. Okay, that should do it then for treasure within this dungeon.
Labyrinth may yet prove to be navigable.
I think all things considered, went pretty well. We got over 20,000 gold, which is even better haul than we got last time. And a tough ring for 15% protection and max HP. Less dodge, less damage. I could see throwing that on either the Man-at-Arms, specifically Brad Wardine, in his current configuration with Retribution and damage output not being the biggest concern, but rather soaking up damage. The protection boost would be quite nice. Also on a Vestal, where doing damage is not the biggest concern. Although, as we saw from this adventure, Quincy definitely can deal it out. You know, the number of times that we did like a critical hit, she would easily get into the like 14 seemed to be the most consistent number that would happen. So that may be like exactly what happens when she crits that. One other thing I wanted to look at here, even after all this time, I have no idea how these quirks are getting assigned. There's no rhyme or reason to it. She came out paranoid, nothing. Like, nothing at all. Brad Wardine, only one negative. Ver, only one positive. I don't understand in any way what is going on here. Like, he had the lowest, he had the second lowest stress out of any of our characters. And that was the quirk assignment. Not really sure what's happening with that.
In truth, I cannot tell how much time has passed since I sent that letter.
Not really sure what's happening with that. Maybe I'll never know. Ver leveled up, which is awesome. Once we get... Actually, he doesn't even really need that much stress reduction. We could probably go as soon as we need to. We've got a fairly solid lineup of level 5 characters now. Reynald needs to see a few upgrades, but other than that, things should be fine. And what else happened? So Savigny did go into the sanitarium, mostly to make his Unholy Slayer permanent, so that he is just righteous fury when it comes to fighting the undead. Everybody else, a little bit of negative quirk removal, a little bit of stress reduction. We're definitely going to have to do some stress reduction with characters from this week. But all of that is slightly overshadowed by the fact that by the next episode, the Cove should be unlocked. Now, I'm going to feel real silly and have egg on my face if that's not the case. But my intention will be that tomorrow morning, as soon as the Cove unlocks, I am going to be recording an episode just as fast as my little Steam can update. And once it's recorded and edited and all of that rigmarole, it'll be up online. So maybe a little bit earlier than the normal episodes would come out. But if I say if, I already know. If I still want to play even more, I may do a couple of episodes that day of the Cove and kind of what's going on to get a sense of things. And we do a few episodes tomorrow. So I hope you guys are as excited as I am. I hope you will join me for that. If you enjoyed this episode, do not cast your gaze upon me. I'm sorry, Rock. I didn't mean to look at you. We'll go back. We'll go back over here. All right. If you enjoyed this episode, feel free to subscribe for more videos on the channel every single day. Leave a like or a comment if you have anything to say about this or any of my other episodes, and I will catch you guys next time.